I don't have a German accent, but I will try to represent him as best as possible. Marcus runs the More Than Human Futures group, and he is not here today, obviously. So this group is a really interesting one because up until this point, all the presentations you've heard have been about human-centered design. And when I started the design school as the head of the design school 4 years ago, I asked all of my vast, amazing colleagues what we thought our mission could be as a design school, bringing together all of our disciplinary knowledges and our research projects. And I said, well, it seems like we do a lot of human-centered design. But it became clear during that discussion, which became a debate, that we're not just about human-centered design, that we're so much more, we're more than human, and we're here for representing those that can't represent themselves. And we're here to tread lightly on the earth because a lot of the processes that we affect in design can be quite destructive and historically have been very destructive. The production of products, fashion, of the myriad of systems that we create as designers can have a dramatic impact upon our environment. And this group was formed to address that. So the More Than Human group looks at how we represent and how we research and create better systems and how we create better products and objects and things to represent those that can't speak for themselves. So, although this is our wonderful tagline for this, you can read clearly there and the website for this group. Here's just an example of some of these projects, because once you hear from some of our fantastic researchers, you can know more about how they try to address this. But we have the transhuman Santa Kavita, who won't be here with us in person today, but we'll play a recording of her presentation. She looks at storytelling. She created a wonderful project actually on this campus called the Chatty Bench, which she actually recorded community stories of people coming together and people interacting with their environment. Jen Seaman, who also isn't here, she's overseas representing at the Venice Biennale, and she looked at how we could engage with mosquitoes. I know we don't like to engage with mosquitoes, but they're an important aspect of our ecosystem. And it's a citizen science project that looked at how school children and communities engage. And then we also have Nick Kelly's work, which is looking at threatened Australians and threatened species near you. So all around us, we are trotting with threatened species that we don't even realize. So you can plug into this app and realize that all around you, there's many, many forms of life forms that are threatened and that we should be protecting, but we had no idea existed right under our feet. And then we also have a project which is looking at imagining new ways to embrace complex messiness of human, non-human lives and relationships. So how can you engage with this group? Multiple different ways, and many of the ways that we've already talked about in the other research areas, but you can do a 13-week project within our Interaction and Visual Design undergraduate course. You can also engage with our Impact Lab program, which we'll hear more about at the end of the presentations. Also, you can do internships through our Design Lab and ARC grants partnerships with 3 to 4 year projects. So without further ado, we're going to play a little video of Kavita talking about her transhuman saunter.
None of this would have been possible without the generosity of this country and my kin of the sky, land, and the water. I acknowledge the durable immigrant people, the traditional custodians of this land on which this work was made, and all of our ancestors and our brothers to this point today. Once upon a time, many, many times, I came upon the great banyan tree. As I walked in the botanic gardens out there, it teleported me to many places, to the golden leaves of the saris, to the great temples of Amritsar, to the monasteries of the Himalayas. I asked myself, what is this mighty beast of the Indian subcontinent doing out here? How did it get here? And then I learned, similar to me and many others here today, it had come on a boat over 100 years ago. And it had made a home here for itself and for many other beings. If I shared history and kinship with history, me, a child of post-colonialism and migration, a woman of color, were there others who shared ties with this great God? If yes, what would make it possible to document these entanglements, to gather these stories, to simply learn? What would make it possible for others to listen to these histories? With identity, gender, and community at its core, those questions became the driving force of the project. Using smartphone technology, the project began as an exploration of collective storytelling of migrations, oppressions, of being the other on this land, of telling tales of the non-humans, such as the banyan tree. The project evolved to become transhuman Saunter. This project is a place-based artwork that documents the entanglements of 4 women artists with the multi-species ecosystem of the Indian banyan tree with the assistance of geolocated technologies. The project has 4 women of color: Akapetos from Samoa, Nan from Vietnam, Maputsamon from Thailand, and finally Natasha of India. They weave their stories digitally across the land of Myanmar. The core of the work lives in City Botanic Gardens, where foreign non-human beings, such as the banyan tree, were brought in, almost as if to eradicate what was there at home. I expand next on each of the 4 artists' exploration on the relationship with the banyan tree, what it means to themselves to have come across from different lands, to have made a home here, to have lost a people, to have waited, to have watched silently. For Akapetos, the banyan tree is a Samoan traditional tattoo on her body. The roots of the tree are the motifs of the tattoos, each motif a historical record of where she comes from and where she's going. In her Saunter, Akapetos shares what it means for the tattoo to have guided her to have found home on this country, Myanmar. Lab Saunter asks the question, what does it mean to be a migrant being? What does it mean to be constantly reminded of temporality, of exoticity? She straddles, stretches, and blends the many lines between present and past, between war and peace, of developing and developed status of countries, and of better beings and lesser beings. Maputsamon's work explores the symbiosis, clash, and the clash of North-South knowledge traditions and what makes the banyan tree valuable, that its worth has to be quantified in euros, rupees, or dollars. In her Saunter, she explores the value of the tree in data visualization through the alternating lens of the Buddhist economist movement in Thailand. And finally, Natasha dispenses off the colonial overtones of the word banyan and instead offers the term kalpa riksha, where kalpa means time and riksha is a tree. It is indeed a tree that surpasses time. In her Saunter, Natasha acknowledges the banyan tree along with the other trees, particularly the native flora and fauna in this pilgrimage around the City Botanic Gardens. In the participatory making of the Saunters, the artists spoke of learning a new method of art making, learning from each other, being able to explore their own positionality within Australia, and that the project offered them a space for sense-making and personal reflection. Those who took the Saunter spoke of the invaluable lesson of and on the tree that otherwise stood quietly in Brisbane's landscape. Technology served to transcend boundaries of the human, lesser human, and non-human, of dominant beings and the subordinate, and of history and sheep story. Thus, this project offers other ways of knowing and learning through techno-enhanced walks as an avenue of making lesser humans and non-humans unheard and otherwise inaccessible stories visible during contested and volatile times. But why does this project matter? Why should we care? This project matters because it asks us to do the tough and difficult task of imagining. To imagine and to know that this is a being that exists beyond human understanding. That when we even consider chopping it down, we are destroying centuries of knowledge and a deep time of carefully constructed relationships. We are eradicating not just an ecosystem, but with our bloodlines connected to it, we are eradicating